You are not ready to work. So we're gonna pull these shocks off. Now the only thing I might do different here is, so the new shocks are gonna be sitting like this, or a little bit like this, I would assume. They're heavier duty shocks, supposed to be better, and they're sitting up straight. So we'll see if we're gonna gain anything good out of it. But we have to take this and flip it up this way, I believe. Or is it this way? I think it's this way up. I'll have to mess with it once I pull everything apart and mount the other shock and everything. So these are the shocks we're putting in. So these brackets, they're gonna bolt up like this to the frame. And these shocks are gonna go. I still think I'm gonna paint the shocks, but pretty much it's gonna mount like so. Like this. And then the bottom down there. So shouldn't be too hard, time consuming, but we should be able to get it done by the time we leave on the road next. So the thing with this is it's got to sit somewhere up here, boy, something like that, but over here. And it's probably gonna be at an angle, I'm not sure yet, we'll see. I'm gonna have to measure everything out, mask it off how I want it. Once I undo this and I move it over. So shouldn't be too bad. Pretty self-explanatory, it's just a labor consuming.
You're not sure about anything, don't listen to this guy.
Okay, so gotta undo this bolt and this one down here. And you know, it's tough getting back here, but I'm making it work. So now I just gotta undo this one. I just undid this one down here. This one has to come completely out, and then we're gonna rotate this thing that way, I think, or this way. But this stud has to come out too. So we'll see here in a minute what I end up doing. Like I said, I'm kind of learning this as I go, so you know. So besides a bloody finger that might be broken, see how it folds in versus this one. Anyway, so besides that, I got the old shock off, the ABS pressure sensor thingy. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grind all this down. Over here too, some of this, and then I have paint, so I'm gonna kind of mask everything off, paint it, but first I'm gonna drill everything where everything has to be mounted. So now this is gonna sit like this, I believe. But first thing I gotta do with this is pull this one out, and then unless it sits like this, maybe it even sits like this, and then the other shock is gonna sit like that, or something along those lines, like this, something like this, because there's no other way it can sit where it's not at an angle. The more I play with it, the more I'll find out what has to go how. So, but for now, that's kind of where we're getting at with that. Okay, so test fitting the shocks. I did have to grind down my actual bolt, which is 1 inch. This is 3/4, so there's that. This is how this is gonna sit, just like that. Now I just gotta get the top mount, measure it out where I want it, but this is gonna have to sit up a little bit. And then so it's gotta be upright as much as possible, which is gonna be like right around here somewhere. So that should be that. I'm gonna mark everything up, drill it in, and then I'm gonna pull everything off. I'm gonna sand all this down more than likely, and paint everything, probably these brackets too, the top of the bag. Just gonna spray paint everything here, make it all nice and red. That's the plan. So I have the shock mount here. Then I also got the hardware from them, just so I don't have to go out of my way looking for hardware and whatnot. So this is gonna go, if I can ever take it off, through the shock, through here, And pretty much right there. Serge leaving this trash here. But pretty much that's what we're looking. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this down there. I'm gonna mount it on this, set it up where I want it, and then we're gonna drill it. So this side, same thing. Grinded down the mounting bolt. I marked my holes right here. So that bracket has to sit so it doesn't hit this steering shaft up here. So now I'm gonna drill these holes, sand everything down. I'm gonna scuff up everything. As I was saying, I actually ended up buying more paint. I'm gonna take off all those caps. Just gonna mask everything off that I don't want painted, and I'm gonna just hit it all with rust. What do you call it? It's like a rust coating, protective rust coating, and then after that I'm gonna use the same color match paint to go over that. So should be fairly easy. I don't see why I'll have any issues. We'll see how long that paint lasts. The only thing, of course, issue, not really an issue, it's just something I'm gonna have to figure out here. Go get a couple fittings. Is this fitting right here? I'm gonna have to rotate it that way and then get another one that goes down so I can grab the fitting and the ABS sensor and somehow make it all fit right there. Otherwise, everything else is going fairly okay. So let's get back to this. I'm gonna drill these holes out and then mark everything up and then start sanding. I still haven't done the other side, so I'm on the same step on the other side. Marked everything up, so I'm just gonna drill. All right, before this thing died, my other batteries are charging, but I started sanding it down a little bit here, just kind of scuffing it up. I'm gonna tape off the airbag, tape it off up here, just tape off some things. I gotta go find some cardboard, and we're just gonna go to town with the paint. I want it to look semi-decent, not perfect, because it's not gonna look perfect when it's been driven for, you know, a couple thousand miles. So as long as it just looks decent and no rust and stuff like that, and no paint chips, kind of like how it is right here. See, that's prior to sanding. So yeah, and yeah, I just throw some paint on there so it doesn't rust, just like this right here. But yeah, so these holes are drilled, and the bracket's gonna go on there. I'm gonna throw the bracket after I paint this. I'm gonna throw the bracket on there and paint the bracket too, and the bolts, and we should be good as far as this side goes. It's only this side sucks because there's so many, you know, hoses and stuff like that, so you can't really get anything perfect. But the other side should be a lot cleaner. I'm gonna polish my rod, the steering shaft. Don't gotta be perfect, but it's gotta be good enough. Get most of the rust off and all the paint. Primered. I'm leaving the Arroyo decals. They're kind of gonna have like a little 3D-ish effect on them, and honestly, taking these decals off, real high quality, not even gonna bother. So, just gonna give it a little bit of spray here. First, a nice little tacky coat. This is also that rust paint as well, or anti-rust, whatever you want to call it. Hit it from all sides. These shocks are obviously not going to be this color when they're done. Trust the process, my boys. So yes, I'm using my Jeep as a little table because the Jeep is getting painted here too. That's a whole nother project. Probably won't share with you guys, but it's already sanded down and stuff. Just gotta find time to get it painted. I don't have time. So just gotta kick this on there. There we go. Very nicely. The other one's almost dry. It's been a while. All right, so I'm gonna paint the driver's side while I still have some daylight left, so it can dry. So I'm gonna show you guys how to use this. So this is half paint, half hardener. So what we do, we'll grab this guy right here. It's a little cap. So see that? Has a little hole in it. Down here you have a little nipple. So here, trying to make this like this. Man, I wasn't prepared for this setting. So you just grab this, you put it on here, and this is gonna break inside, and you're gonna have a good mix. It's a really nice blend. I thought about removing the sticker up here, but you know what? Doesn't bug me that much. Yeah, but you can see how it blends with the frame. It's super nice. Perfect match. Just up here on top of the frame. I don't know what I'm gonna do up there. Gotta move that bag. So this is the crucial part. Trying to get all the little holes and crevices so it doesn't look half-assed. I also want it to look semi-decent. So I know not many people are ever gonna look under my hood, but if they do, I don't want them to be like, oh, but you missed a spot here. I got another can I'm probably gonna have to mix up if I really want to get everything nice. The wind just finally calmed down so I can actually paint. I don't want it to run everywhere. This overspray is no joke. It'll get on trucks, trailers, especially my white pickup truck, God. So at least now it's going back behind me, and now it's like a mix of wind. But so as you can tell already, it's coming out decent. Now I'm just touching it up in these holes. Jeez. There's still like a quarter can left, but it's when you tilt it doesn't want to spray. I haven't really had any overspray anywhere yet, or running spots. Get up some pressure. So, see you guys, I guess, with the finished product. It's hard to record and try to keep my eye on what I'm doing. So I decided to paint the spoolie boy. A cool side cover. Obviously I didn't paint inside, and I didn't paint around here where the intake goes. Obviously you're not going to see any of that crap, but point being, came out really well. I'm excited to see it on here, so I'm going to install it and we'll see where it goes. But this side came out nice, so I'll paint it, and I'm going to peel the tape off here once it's gets a little bit more dry, but this guy's no help as always. And I started doing the intake piping. It's way over there next to Old Red, in case anybody misses them. But yeah, I started doing the intake piping. I ran out of paint. I got that long pipe to do, which we're gonna do on Monday, because the paint shop is closed today. So yeah, so I'm gonna throw this on and we'll see how it goes. All right, so spoolie boy is on. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna paint this piping red as well. I think it's only right. So I got like a chrome clamp, yellow clamp, orange boot, red turbo. This is gonna be black. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull this side off and the other side off over there. I'm gonna sand them down. Just gonna paint them red. So I think it'll be cool. Red there and then red over there, and then the piping for the intercooler or for the air breathers is all gonna be red. So at first I was gonna polish them, but I changed my mind because polishing and keeping something clean is a hard task. So what I'm doing, I guess the hardest task is freaking sanding things. So you see how it's coming out here. I'm gonna sand it down, of course hit it with some primer. And this one I'm gonna have to paint on Monday as well, because I don't have enough paint. I have paint, but not enough. So I don't know if I want to start it and see how far I can get with that paint, or if I just want to wait till Tuesday. I guess we'll find that out here in a minute. But the other 3 pieces are still over there, painted and drying. 2 are almost dry. 1 I just painted. Shock's almost dry. So gonna throw those on, and then the front suspension will completely be done. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to sanding and then primer, and we'll go from there. And there we have it. This side is done. I still got to paint the motor again, paint all the piping. I think I'm gonna do red here still. You see how it just transitions to yellow. I don't know. I don't have any more paint, so until tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm gonna get some more paint. I'm actually gonna get them to make me the cat yellow paint instead of the store one. I'm gonna get the actual one like this. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this one. But that was a fun little project. It took a while, and I had an issue on the other side, which I'll show you guys here in a little bit. But I'm actually digging the red turbo, honestly. It gives a little bit of, I don't know, just something to look at, you know what I mean? Especially because we do truck shows and stuff, so figured you open the hood and people are like, oh, let me check it out. That's cool. So there's that side. I was gonna paint the tie rod down there, but I wouldn't be able to paint the whole thing without pulling it off, so I just left it the way it is. Just gonna clean it up. It'll be nice and black. I'm gonna paint these. Well, these are gonna have covers like this. Just the bigger ones. Obviously, I don't have any. The bottom one and these and everything should look nice and complete here. So this other side, I'll show you guys one issue that I'm having. Probably gonna have to pull the steering shaft off so I can get to this fitting. I don't think I'll be able to unscrew it because it's about a centimeter away. So I'm gonna unscrew it, put another one in that faces probably either that way or this way, and run the airline from underneath, or I'm gonna run it through this hole right here. So the airline is right here now. What I think I'm gonna do is run it that way to there and straight into the fitting, so it'll be nice and clean. Had some issues with the ABS sensor fitting. That's why all the big guys, companies and stuff like that do the air ride, they cock this thing at an angle. I didn't want to drill any more holes in my frame, but it works. So the only other thing I guess I could have done was probably put it on that bottom bolt. You can see that, yeah, right there. Could have twisted it and then the ABS sensor would have fit without issues, but it was able to work and it's not touching. So, and then it's still going to be pulled down like more once everything's zip tied up. Shouldn't have any issues. Obviously, this doesn't vibrate or anything. It's just a rod that sits straight. So, that's done. The shocks came out nice. So, if you guys remember in the beginning of the video, the old shocks, they sat like this at an angle, and then these are made to sit like this. So not much of an angle, but I think they should be better. The only thing is, like, I guess I could have moved it a little bit more up to like right here. I don't think it would really matter too much, but I talked to Arroyo, who I got these shocks from, and they said these shocks will be the way these shocks are mounted should be plenty good. A little bit of an angle, not compared to what these shocks were. These are obviously beefier, so the truck essentially should drive better. We'll figure out tomorrow once I put the new ABS airlines back in, and we'll take it for a spin and see how she runs. I'm actually kind of excited to see if it makes a difference, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. All this came out good. This dropped on me yesterday when it was still wet, so it had some imperfections I had to touch up, but overall it came out good. And it's gonna get really dirty anyway. All this is gonna be dirty, right? This is temporary. Winter's here, so it's all gonna get dirty, and it's all gonna look alike. So, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Just a little vlog of me messing around, doing some time and money wasting things, really. Show you one more look at that gorgeousness. Anyway, I'm really loving it, so thank you guys for watching and supporting me. I think we've been here for like a year. I want to say we've been here like a year, so it's been great. Thank you guys, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next. Peace out.